Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. I have gotten a lot of requests for making another flaxseed wrap or flaxseed tortilla recipe video with some real-time footage. So if you tried making these flaxseed wraps in the past and had difficulties handling the dough, hopefully you will learn some helpful tips today. The only ingredient we'll use in this recipe are flax seeds. I'm using golden flax seeds because their flavor is mild compared to brown flax seeds, and also I prefer the light color. However, brown flax seeds or a mix of the two, which you will see at the end of this video, work just as well. I'm grinding the flax seeds in a vitamix into fine flaxseed flour. If you're using store-bought flaxseed meal, make sure it's finely ground. If it's not, you'll need to blend it a little bit because whole or coarsely ground flax seeds absorb less water than finely ground flax seeds. Add some water into a medium saucepan and bring it to a boil. The water does need to be hot for this recipe to work. If you use cold water, the flaxseed dough will be too hard to roll out and the final wraps will be quite stiff. Add a little bit of salt if you'd like and the flaxseed meal. Make sure that you measure the flaxseed meal correctly because the correct ratio of flaxseed meal to water is really important. I have all the instructions on how to do that on my blog. I will leave a link to the recipe in the description box below this video. You will need to work fast, stirring the flaxseed meal until the meal absorbs all the water. I usually leave the saucepan on the stovetop but turn the heat off as I'm stirring. You'll see that the flaxseed meal gradually forms a dough. When it seems that all the flaxseed meal is evenly mixed in, that's it. I don't do anything with the dough anymore until it cools down slightly so I can handle it. The dough will keep absorbing water as it sits, so it's important to let it rest for a little bit. The dough should not be too sticky. If it is, sprinkle some extra flaxseed meal onto the dough to make it less sticky. To roll out the dough, place the dough on a piece of parchment paper. Cover the dough with another piece of parchment paper and press it into a disc with your palm. It's really important that you use parchment paper, which has a non-stick silicone coating. Wax paper will not work. Place the center of your rolling pin on the center of the disc. Press firmly into the dough, rolling towards yourself and away from you. Turn the dough 180 degrees and repeat until your tortilla is about 1/16 of an inch thick. You should see your hand a bit through the dough. My tortillas were about 8.5 inches in diameter. To make a perfectly round tortilla, place a round bowl or a plate on top of the rolled out dough and cut around the edges. Transfer the tortilla on a preheated pan. You can use well-seasoned cast iron pan, which is a naturally non-stick, or any other non-stick pan. The pan does have to be non-stick. Stainless steel will not work. Cook the flaxseed tortilla for 60 to 90 seconds or until you can easily slip a spatula underneath it. If it seems sticky, it's not done yet. Flip and cook for about 30 to 60 seconds on the other side. Be careful not to overcook the tortilla or it will get crispy and you won't be able to roll it. Repeat those steps with the rest of the dough until you form 4 tortillas, or 5 if you use the leftover dough from the edges to make an extra one. I use all kinds of fillings for these flaxseed wraps, savory, sweet, but in this video I'm gonna show you one of my favorite combinations. A little bit of sprouted hummus, some leafy greens, carrots, bell peppers, radishes, and sprouts. And that's it! Delicious flaxseed wraps that are tender and soft from the flax seeds, crunchy from the vegetables, and just so quick to make. These flaxseed wraps are the most viewed video on my YouTube channel, but I understand that they can be tricky, and so you guys asked that I make an updated video, more real-time video, and you also asked questions about the texture, whether you can use these wraps as a pizza crust, whether you can make crackers out of it. So we're gonna try and answer all those questions.
The flavor, as of yet, this is like, I would be tempted to say that this was made of beans. Like black beans, because the flavor is very earthy. It reminds me very much of black beans. Of course, there are no black beans in this recipe. Simply flax for the most part. And the texture is, it's almost velvety once it hits your palate. Like, not when you grab it, not when you touch it, it's not like smooth and soft. But like as soon as you start to bring it across your palate, chew it up, it's very smooth. It's very nice to eat, very pleasing. So, velvety smooth texture, even interestingly on some of the edges where it gets drier and crispier, as soon as you start processing it, it's like nice and smooth. And the flavor is very earthy,
Yes.
Not necessarily neutral, but close to neutral.
Yeah.
Picture like a whole wheat wrap type flavor, but not as strong, like not as present. It's more of like a, just in the background. It's not as strong as most whole wheat or sourdough wraps. So. And
to answer some of your other questions, yes, you can make crackers out of it. I would not use this as a pizza base. I find that it's way too flimsy for pizza base. Even if you made it thicker, it wouldn't hold up. It wouldn't just stay in place.
Flop over,
yeah.
It's not gonna. It won't hold anything.
Yes. Yes.
You're better off just leaving it as a wrap. Maybe if you thicken it up, I don't know. Some of you are probably really great in the kitchen. I don't understand these things. As it is right now, it couldn't hold anything, so I don't think you can do it. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, comment below, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.